Hey guys, so welcome to this amazing automation DIY workshop where we are going to build LinkedIn chatbot automation. This can handle all your incoming LinkedIn chats as well as all conversations. It can take it to a particular business goal where you wanted to book a meeting, you wanted to share more information, assess that particular conversation, whether it can become a lead or not, and so on. And here we're going to use a very minimal tech stack, which includes your LinkedIn account, Google Sheet to maintain all the chat history, all the chat control data, ChatGPT Assistant, which can be trained, as I said, on your conversation tone, on your profile, on your business details, as well as we are going to use make.com. So it can integrate all of these things together. So let's dive in. Let's see how this automation can assist you to save tons of time to assess the leads, to automatically handle conversation. And irrespective of which time zone you are in, it can work 24/7. So if you are running a global business, if your leads come or prospect come from global different locations, multiple countries, then it can be a super effective automation, efficient automation for you. So let's dive. Let's see how we can build this with the help of this minimal tech stack. Thank you. So here is our minimal tech stack which we are going to use in this particular automation. One is the unipile.com APIs. So Unipile is basically a platform which can control your different social media messaging things, right? So for example, if you are using Unipile for LinkedIn, it can control all your incoming and outgoing messages on LinkedIn. So as soon as something comes up, it can send us a webhook, a trigger that a message came with the person's profile name, his profile details, chat ID, as well as the message content. And it can also send message on our behalf. So that is one. Second is make.com. So we all know, like, we'll have to integrate multiple platforms over here, including ChatGPT, Unipile, our Google Sheet, and so on. So we will need Make as an integration platform over here. We can use either Zapier as well, but however, Zapier is more costly than Make, so I would prefer to go with Make. Third thing we are going to use is ChatGPT, where we are going to replicate your complete persona and your business details as well, plus any business goals you have, book a meeting, or maybe get more information about the lead and so on. So here we'll use ChatGPT 4o Mini, which is a low cost model. Like about 1 million token can be purchased for just $0.15. So it's super cheap. And then we are using Google Sheet. So we'll have to manage all the chat master data, chat records inside Google. So in case if you wanted to handle a chat manually, not by automated AI, in that case we can simply switch that chat automation off from Google Sheet. Plus it can also keep track of our entire chat history as well as the chat status, what kind of chat it is, segregation, and summary as well. In case if you don't want to use Google Sheet, you can go for Airtable, Notion, Monday, whatever your preferences. We can simply replicate or replace that as well. And finally, obviously your own LinkedIn account, which will be connected inside Unipile. So yeah, this is a very quick tech stack. Now in next video, I'm going to quickly walk you through and set up each of these things with you alongside, and we'll see how we are going to build the automation. Thank you. So welcome to this another video. Now here we are going to set up all these accounts, all these tech stack, and I'll walk you through each of them one by one. So first of all, we are going with Unipile. Unipile is a primary platform which help us to control our different social media messaging, right? So for example, over here, if you come to Unipile, it has something called, let's go for products first. LinkedIn API, WhatsApp API, all these different social media APIs, as well as Gmail, Outlook, and so on. And what it does is it can capture all incoming messages on your account, and it can even has capability to send messages out from APIs. Now, by default, they say there is a pricing of $5.5 per account per month. However, they offer minimum 10 account, and that's the base, right? So you'll have to spend this much amount for the Unipile. They have 7 days free trial, and there's unlimited API calls, so you don't have to worry about like how many messages you're handling using Unipile. However, 7 days free trial, so you can go with this free trial sign up. Now coming to Unipile, so once you log in into Unipile, you will see this kind of board. Then you simply go here, connect an account, and once you connect, you can choose LinkedIn. You'll have to put your email ID, password, click login, and then it will ask you for confirmation, and your login will be done. So once you do this login part, you'll have to come here, and like you can find this kind of a DSN. DSN is like actually your unique API endpoint, so which is api4.unipile.com, and then they have allocated a particular endpoint for you. Now simply copy this thing, and I opened a notepad, so I pasted here. This will be required essential for us. Then secondly, you can simply go here on access token, click generate a token, and then this token can be so let's say I'm just putting LinkedIn chat automation token, for example, right? Now click on messaging read write. Ensure that you follow like when this token should expire, so you'll have to regenerate it. You can give this ability to run until a year end as well. So let's go for this, maybe 2026 October, something like this. So you can generate token for even a longer life. and you just have to select the scope as messaging read write, because we just wanted to work with the message on this particular thing. So this will be a Unipile setup. Just store this token. So I stored this kind of a token over here, just a test token for now. Then the second stake comes for make.com. So now it's time for make.com account setup. Let's quickly walk through it. So here we have something called a magic link, and this magic link can give you 10,000 operations on Make for free of cost at the first month. So you just have to click over here on this link. It will take you to this kind of a screen which says special offer, get 1 month pro plan free for when you sign up using this link. And over here you have to give your name, email, password, and that's it. So I'll quickly log in into my own account. Before that, I'll quickly showcase you. So Make has different pricing plans. However, the first plan, which is zero value plan, is like giving you 1,000 operations every month for free of cost. So you can always go for this in case if you don't have much traffic or you don't want to handle like many LinkedIn chats, you can simply go for this plan. Else you can next month onwards, you can downgrade to your core plan, which costs $9 for 10,000 operations a month, which is way more cheap and very good. Now I'll quickly log in into my Make account. So once you create Make account, you will land on something like this. So it will get you here inside this kind of a Make structure or dashboard, and you can click here scenarios or click on create a new scenario, and then we'll walk through the entire automation process. So that is one. Now in case if you already have a blueprint, simply go here and on make.com click on these three dots on inside scenario, click import blueprint. And now once you choose the blueprint file, for example, I'll just show you something. Let's say I recently gave away something called blueprint killer content machine. So simply click save, right? So this kind of the entire automation will come up like this. Yeah. So if you have the blueprint, just import it right away, right from here. If not, DM me and I will give you the blueprint as well. So this is the make.com setup. So our third tech stake is called ChatGPT 4o Mini. So what we have to do is simply go to your ChatGPT. Okay, let's go here. This is something called openai.com. Now there are two type of GPTs we have. So first of all, the GPT which we work on browser. So if you simply go here chatgpt.com or maybe openai/chatgpt, it will going to open you this kind of interface, and here you can write anything, right? So, and you may have a premium plan for this as well, where you might be paying $20 a month or something. Now this GPT does not work with any sort of integrations or the API based integration which can be used on automation scenarios. For that, we'll have to go a little different. So over here, we are going to openai.com, then click here on products, and then click on API login. Once you go here, you'll have to sign up and do your credentials and everything. You will see there are two options. One is ChatGPT and with a conversational interface. Second is called API. Click on the API and then you will land into this kind of a interface. So over here, simply go to settings and ensure that you have your billing enabled, or at least you have some dollars or some amount already added to your credit balance. So simply go with add credit balance or maybe set up your payment method. These are very essential things. And once you are done with this, you will be able to use the ChatGPT API. To use the API, simply go here in general. And over here, you'll see this is the organization ID we have. And then you can go on dashboard. Over here, click on API keys and simply click on create new API key or new secret key. Now you can give it a name like, let's say, for example, LinkedIn chat automation, right? And it can be default project or something, and simply create a secret key. Once you do that, like you'll have to store this secret key somewhere. So let me just add this item as well on our dashboard. So ChatGPT API key. Yeah, and this will require to set up the make.com API or ChatGPT connection inside make.com. So this will be done over here. And okay, along with this, let's come on back on the dashboard. Now here we'll have to create a custom GPT assistant. Now this assistant is going to talk in your tone, with your knowledge base, with your profile and so on. So that part is we'll take on the later video, how we're going to set up this ChatGPT assistant. I'll walk you through everything step by step. So let's jump on the next setup. And that next setup is going to be your Google Sheet. So let's go there. So now here we are for our fourth tech stake setup, that is called Google Sheet. Now why we are setting up Google Sheet? So there are a couple of purposes to set up Google Sheet. First, we wanted to keep a control or keep a log of all our chat history going on. So what's happening on each of or how many chats are open at any point. Second, we also wanted to let's say intervene into any particular conversation. So let's say if something is going with ChatGPT based AI assistant, if you wanted to take that conversation off and you want to do it manually, then you can do it, right? So over here, this is a Google Sheet structure. We'll start with a person name, so like who to whom we are chatting with, their LinkedIn profile URL, just a column. Then when the chat started, the chat ID from Unipile, what we got, the GPT conversation thread ID. Why it is important? Because when we are chatting with someone, we wanted to keep GPT update about their previous chat history. So it is not going to be a chat completion prompt kind of thing. It will be a chat thread, right? So a conversation. And if we have this thread ID, then GPT, whenever this person, let's say, for example, Benjamin, refer or messages again, GPT knows there is a complete conversation thread going on, and it can refer all the previous conversation, accordingly respond to it on the next message. Then we have chat type status. So over here, this is the control. Like currently all the chats are going on the AI automation basis. However, we can turn it to manual. Now, whenever there is any new message comes in, this chat will not be replied by GPT Assistant. It will be simply replied by, like, it will be waiting for you to take actions, right? So in case if you want to take manual control, simply select manual controls, and that's it. So no longer chats will be available or will run through the AI based things, right? I'm also planning to put something called lead status as well as conversation history as conversation summary. So at any point, if you don't want to read those many chat messages, you can simply have a summary over here. And this I'll show you later on the bonus part on the last of this entire session, because it will require some more handling and some more other things. However, for now, we are good with these many options over here. So yeah, this is the only single sheet. I'll share you this sheet link as well. So you can simply go here on file and do make a copy. And then we'll configure or reconfigure everything inside make.com scenario. So I hope this is clear until now. Let me know if you have any questions on the chat below. So first thing first, let's start setting up with ChatGPT Assistant, right? So because that's the fundamental for almost all of our message transition and all the message responses as well. So over here, I written a ChatGPT prompt, and you can see here, I said that like create a set of operating instructions and guideline for this ChatGPT Assistant. And this ChatGPT Assistant is going to, like, I want to create a GPT Assistant for my LinkedIn conversation on my behalf that can handle the incoming messages like a human way. And then I mentioned that if the prospect want to shows the interest in my services, or they are like asking me to connect, then here's my details, so you can just share this across. And then however, talk smoothly, casual business talks, don't be a pushing sales rep, and then a couple of other things. Then also we have given it at last that do not engage in any irrelevant talks, so it can stop there itself. If it does not understand anything, or it the topic is irrelevant, then they should not reply. Instead, it can generate a reply that give me some time, I will get back to you on this. Yep. So this can prevent any sort of unwanted, unnatural conversations at all. And then finally, we asked it you can classify the leads or the prospect or the conversation in the following manner. So it can be hot lead, warm lead, call lead, and irrelevant, right? Based upon the conversation summary it has so far. And at last, we asked it, give us output in the following JSON format. So reply to latest message. If there is a genuine reply, we can straightforward connect it and send it across to the chat. And then second is we also are asking for conversation summary at every conversation end, and we are asking it to rate the lead rating. Yeah. So if I go ahead and give this input into my chat GPT, and I simply asked it for GPT-4, now it is going to help me to curate the instructions for the GPT Assistant, because I'll have to build this entire GPT Assistant, right? So over here, let's see. Perfect. It's coming up good. Great. JSON format is this. Reply to message. Great. Perfect. I think it's almost done over here. So we can simply copy this entire thing. Now let's go to ChatGPT. This is the interface where we are going to structure our ChatGPT Assistant. So simply click on create. Then it's going to ask you, okay, what is this? So let's say we'll say LinkedIn Chat Assistant for Manish, for example. Right? And here we can put all the instructions. So these instructions are, we copied from there, simply pasted here. Let's open this. We'll remove this opening part where GPT, and we'll remove this last part as well. We are good. Let's go back. Here we can use the model, which model we wanted to go for. It's GPT-4 or mini or something. Okay, let me just say V2, so we can identify easily. I already have a GPT created, so you should not get confused with that. Now, while we're creating this GPT, we should, let's open in Playground. And over here we can also add couple of files, right? So for example, let's say in my case, if I go ahead and open my LinkedIn, I wanted to add couple of information from my own company, my own profile. So let me go to my profile. You can add anything, whatever you want, save as PDF. So this is going to get all my profile information. I got it here, profile 1. Let's go back, click on file search on files, upload, and now we can upload anything. So let's say I just added profile 1. Similarly, I can add any of my company information. So let me just go with one cloud drive, gross tax. Okay, so this, I think we had earlier a kind of presentation of all our services, right? So this is complete presentation of my company. I will simply add it as well. So these two things are uploaded now. We are attaching them to the respective GPT, and even you can try something here. So I'll say, hey Manish, how are you? Let's say someone is sending you a message. So you can just do a complete thread testing, right? Say, Manish, how are you? And now GPT, I'm doing well, thank you. How about you? How can I assist you today? Are you working? So you can just type in a couple of messages yourself, like how your people or your connects are sending you on LinkedIn. So it can be a good quick demo or walkthrough of the capabilities of GPT. And in case if you want to modify any prompt, feel free to do that. So it can be as per your requirement, whatever you want. Yep. So are you working in automation, for example? Just sent. Give me, I'll just remove this as well. Remove this as well. I'll even add this entire thing on the below comments. So yeah, it's good to, you can simply copy paste this entire thing. Just change your respective contact details and that's it. Can we connect on Tuesday evening? So now here it returned absolutely. Could you please let me know what time works Tuesday evening? Alternatively, we can book a time over here, and this is the calendar link. So this is how our GPT is going to work. Now, this is the first part of GPT setup. In the next video, I'm going to show you how you can import the blueprint and how we are going to configure this entire automation scenario. So thank you. So let's dive into our automation. Let's build the automation. Let's start from scratch. So over here, we have, once you log into your make.com account, we have something called create a new scenario. Click on this. And by the time you would have received this blueprint file as well, this is called .json file. So simply go to your make.com, create a new scenario, click over here. It's called export import blueprint. Click on import blueprint. Click over here, choose file, and simply go ahead and choose your folder. So currently I parked this file into blueprint folder on my downloads. Simply double click or open it, click save. And as soon as you do that, you will see this entire automation comes up on your respective make.com account. Now, the first thing first, so we'll have to first set up a webhook which can capture all the messages coming from your LinkedIn account. Right, so simply click over here and it is going to ask you add a hook. So click on add. You can say webhook for LinkedIn messages, yeah, from Unipile. Yep, that's done. Click save and you will see this kind of a URL coming in. So click copy this address and then go to your Unipile account. Once you go there, click on webhooks and over here click on create a webhook. Drop this webhook URL, whatever you copied from there, and then choose what type of hook you want. So when the hook should trigger, should get the data from Unipile. So when multiple messaging event happens, right? And then here we have something called on new message, on read, on message action. So we say on new message only. I think we don't need read and action as such. And simply click continue. So once you do that, I'll just cancel it for now. You will see this kind of on new message and the hook is already configured over here. Yeah. So that's the first step. So now the second step is about setting up your Google Sheet connection. So over here you would have seen we copied this particular Google Sheet, clicking on make a copy. I already provided Google Sheet link on the details. So click over here and then click on add connection. So you can simply name it as your name or my connection or something. Click on sign in with Google. And over here you will see this kind of multiple accounts. So whatever account you would have copied that sheet, refer to that particular account, click over here, and then it is going to give you a permission page. So click continue, give all the permission required, and then the connection will be added over here. So once this is done, you can simply click over here, select from my drive, and then choose that particular sheet which you have copied or we created in your account. So once you click on spreadsheets, it's going to load all the available Google Sheets in your drive, and then you can choose among them like which one you wanted to connect it. So obviously we have the sheet name called LinkedIn Chat Automation Monitoring and Control Center. So I selected this one. It's going to ask you to select the sheet name as well. So over here we have sheet name called LinkedIn AI Chat Master. So I selected this LinkedIn AI Chat Master, and then rest leave it as it is. You will see there are two filters applied on this particular module. One is called chat type status is equal to AI automated. So it's going to refer or run the scenario only if any chat is tagged as AI automated. And by default, like we tagged all the chats as AI automated. In case if you wanted to intervene manually, you can simply choose manual, right? Or maybe convert anything on manual. So now this chat will no longer be attended by the AI. Second is we are also taking up something called chat ID. Now what happens when you are configuring this webhook inside Unipile, as I shown you in the last steps, you will see something here. Whenever there's a new message coming in, Unipile give us all these information. So for example, you see here event is message received, account ID, account type, webhook name, chat ID, including attendee name, so who sent us the message, the sender name, everything, the message content, as well as the attachments and maybe the timestamp of the message itself, right? So now what we configured here is basically the filter that if chat ID exists, then get us the chat ID as well, because if we are getting a chat ID, in that case we can simply refer to that previous conversation and send the message into the same conversation. If not, then we'll have to start a new chat thread, right? So that's it. Now there are two routes defined over here. One is called new chat, second is called the existing chat. You can see here, right? So new chat is something where we did not get any output from this module, which means like if this particular module does not exist, then we are simply considering as a new chat, because if chat ID was not found or something happened, then this is going to return 0 module, and the chat ID should also not be exist. Second route is something called if this module got some response, the response exists and the chat ID also exists, then we are going to follow it as a new chat. Once we have defined the route, which route we wanted to go with, either it's a new chat if the chat ID available and if we found any existing record, or if we don't find and it's a existing chat, right? So over here we are applying a random sleep. So random sleep is like to make it human-like conversation, because the entire scenario can run in fraction of seconds, and the other person will get to know, okay, whenever I'm sending a message, I'm getting almost instant reply, even that customized reply. So they can easily sense that it's a chatbot, it's a AI which is like corresponding with them instead of a human. So we have applied up to 100-second delay over here. The scenario is going to sleep, and then whatever, like it can be sometime 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 90 seconds, 0 seconds, and so on. So it can return almost any kind of value. It's applied on both routes. It's either a new chat or a existing chat. Now once that is done, you can simply go over here, and we have added a new row inside Google Sheet. So Google Sheet has a good module over here inside Make, and let's click on here. It has many functions available, but we are just focused on add a new row, because if there is a new chat coming in, we are just going to add all the chat information inside Google Sheet. So this is the Google Sheet what we are referring to, which is the person name, LinkedIn URL, when the chat started, chat ID, thread ID, and the conversation type. So over here, let's go back to Make scenario, and we selected our sheet from my drive. Select the sheet, select the respective sheet name, and then we are simply mapping all the values from the payload coming from the webhook. So let's say simply go for, you can map it like this. So attendee name, sender attendee name, their LinkedIn profile URL. So it comes like this. The respective timestamp. So when the chat started, it's going to be format date, DMY, hours, minutes. So it can follow this kind of a format, and you get to know like when the chat was started, as well as chat ID. So chat ID also comes here from the Unipile. Yep. So this is done, and then we are moving to ChatGPT Message and Assistant module. So there we are going to map the message which comes from the Unipile, and GPT can absorb it and process it. Now it's time to configure the ChatGPT Assistant over here. So again, make.com has ChatGPT module as well. You can simply type in ChatGPT, and it will give you OpenAI, ChatGPT, Whisper, and DALL-E options. Now here we have something called Message and Assistant. So we already created an assistant over here. We trained it. We gave it our respective information as well as all the instructions. So we can simply choose Message and Assistant. It looked like this. Once we configure here, you'll have to add a connection for this GPT assistant. So GPT will require your API key as well as the organization ID. It's an optional thing, so you can just go with the API key. Now over here, once you are configured with your connection, it's going to ask you which GPT bot or GPT assistant you wanted to use. So over here we have recently created something called V2 LinkedIn chat assistant for Manish. So you can choose this. It's going to load all the settings over here. You can choose among the role user or assistant. So I'm saying like it's an assistant. And over here we can do a prompting as well as the message mapping. So for example, let me just remove this. I'll say sender name. So GPT knows like who's sending this message, and I can simply map it from here. So as soon as you click on any mappable box or any input box, there will be a sidebar open like this. And here you see all the output from all previous modules. So for example, let's say we did add a new raw. These are the output for add new raw. Search raw, same way this module webhook gave us so many output from webhook as well. So now over here we can simply say sender name is the attendee name, this guy, as well as we can say message text. So what message we actually got, and obviously you can do this prompt in a much better way. So message is here, hi Manish, hope you're doing fine, and so on. So now we already gave so many instructions to GPT assistant on its configuration over here. However, in case if you wanted to give it even additional instructions, right? So something you can just follow the conversation flow within the thread, do not push for sales or something. So I just like being more cautious, I gave extra instructions to it. Plus I also let's remove it, chat thread ID is not available. I also configured a couple of more instructions so it can follow through the like, or it can be more cautious, right? So that's it for GPT part. So now the same thing we are going to configure on the second route where we have this existing chat. What happens here? So obviously if it is an existing chat, this module is going to revert us the chat details, right? Plus it's almost going the same way. So we are going for the assistant selection, the user or assistant role selection. So let's make it assistant. Same way we mapped the message, we mapped the sender name and everything, plus any additional things you wanted to give. And over here we have something called thread ID as well. This is by default map from here. You don't have to do anything. But in case if you want, let me just showcase you something. For example, let's go here and let's run through this, run this module only chat ID. So it gives us these kind of details when it runs, right? So I selected this particular thread or this particular raw from here. It gave us the person name, this LinkedIn URL, date, and so other things. And once you go here, you will see this thread ID is now filled. It is mapped properly. So here, this is the thread ID which is coming from this thread underscore this. You don't have to do anything as such, but yeah, just for your information, thread ID is mapped. So it can refer for the existing chat, it can refer the ongoing conversation. Yeah. Now moving ahead, over here we asked our chatbot to reply with a proper JSON structure, if you remember here. And this chatbot is going to give us three things in reply. One is reply to latest message, conversation summary, and the lead rating. So whenever we are getting responses, at least we'll get this one, reply to latest message. So now we'll have to apply something called parse JSON. So this module is a parse JSON. We can simply map the result coming from here from ChatGPT into this, and it is going to give us a splitted values proper. So for example, let's see here, it will give us lead rating as warm rating or warm lead, conversation summary as something like this, and reply to this person is will be here. Then we'll configure the last part of the entire automation is the Unipile API. So over here you see it's HTTP for Unipile 123 whatever this, and then API chat. Now here we have to map the chat ID coming from here. This is the output comes from Unipile. So this chat ID we mapped here, we said messages, and there is a post. Then we'll have to put the API key. So whatever we generated over here, if you remember. So text take, this is the Unipile API token. This has to be put in here. Then a couple of other basic settings, and then you are putting the message. So text has to go out is the text which is coming from here, reply to the latest message. And that's it. At last we are going to, so obviously this module will send out message back to the person, whoever is there. And then at last we are mapping again back updater raw. So this updater raw, what it does, it's going to refer the line or the raw which is created by add new raw, right over here. So we are checking this raw ID, and then we updated few things. One is the thread ID, because when this raw was created, there was no thread ID exist. So we'll have to like after that GPT module working, and then we got something called thread ID over here. So if you click on here, it will map. Then we have two more things. One is lead status. So lead status coming from here, rating, sorry, we have taken up here, and then conversation summary will also come from here. So this is how we mapped everything into this particular chat. Similar thing can be done over here as well. I'll just copy paste this module. So simply drag it, copy it, and this will be here. Let's move them a little around. This module will get result from this resulted one, and over here we are going to map the message. So obviously it will require a one run actually. So let me just take it to this. So let's give it a try. Now for example, let me just go here and we'll check this entire output. Let's click on this, run once. It will asking me, okay, put some values. I'll say ABC, lead rating is, for example, warm. This is done, this is done. Let us quickly see. And messages, test. If we click run OK, you'll see here all these things come out, and then we can simply map it over here. So let's go down, click over here, and this is our reply to message. So this is done, and this also so this will be part of your blueprint. You don't have to worry about this. Actually, I did not save the previous run, so it's causing me some issues, but that's fine. Raw number I added from here. Thread ID we don't need essentially, but we can simply map it from this module. Lead rating we can map it from here. Conversation summary we can map it from here, and that's it. So this is how our entire automation is updated with the latest things. Now similar to here, if it is an existing conversation, it will go here, it will do the normal chat, and then it will follow through. So message ID as well as a couple of things on the text, and then finally updating everything over here in the Google Sheet. Now we have defined something on our ChatGPT. If you remember, if there is a conversation which GPT cannot handle, it's going to say, give me some time, I'll get back to you on this. If GPT is going to give this reply, then we have to notify ourselves with an email. So it says manual intervention required. Now here we say, if the result contains this particular para called give me some time, I'll get back to you on this, then it should follow this route. And on this route, we have configured our Outlook module. So it's a create and send a message. And here is it, subject line alert, manual intervention required in this particular LinkedIn chat. It's a text thing, sender name I mapped here, sender LinkedIn file I mapped here, message, date and time again formatted, and this email is sent to admin@growstacks. In your case, you can choose any of your email, let's say John or maybe Alex or something, and at your respective profile. So as soon as anytime the message is something called give me some time, it's going to follow this route. If not, it will just follow through this and will say, okay, give me some time, and it will just refer it to this person. So let's normal chat, no route required, done. This is also I will going to give you on the blueprint. Now our automation is ready to test. So in next video, we are going to test it, how this entire thing look like. Thank you. So it is time to test this entire automation. Now let's dive in and let's see how it works. So over here, our automation is ready. We can simply turn on. Actually, I already got so many new records. 126 records are pending in queue to be processed. So what happened is, actually I created this automation yesterday, and I made it live. So currently you can see on my LinkedIn. I'll quickly showcase you. So there are so many messages coming in, and almost every second minute I got a message. I'll simply delete all the old data, let it go. The automation is ready to run now, and let's see how it works. So let me just go to someone's account. So I got another account on LinkedIn for one of my colleague, and I can simply add it here. So LinkedIn, this account relates to a person called Faisal, and he's one of my team member. And over here I have this my account, it's called Manish. So this is my account, right? So we have two accounts, Faisal and Manish. Yep. Okay, one more came, sorry for that. Okay, now what happens, so let's delete all the chat happened between Faisal and Manish. Let me search for Faisal. Let's see if it is okay. Perfect, it's here. Let's delete conversation, remove it from Faisal also. I think this would have gone. Okay, let's delete this conversation from here as well. It's gone. Now let me see if I have still Faisal with me. Yeah, Faisal is here. I'm not sure if he's connected or not. Okay, I can message him. Great. And he can also message me. Manish M. Okay, perfect. So he can also message me. So over here, I'll simply remove it. And now if Faisal is sending me a message, let's see this entire automation flow, as well as Faisal Khan already exists here. I'll remove him and let's come down over here. So we'll see the magic happening. Hey Manish. So Faisal is writing me now. How are you? He sent me this message. The message came here. You see, hey Manish, how are you? And by that time, automation would also be working now. Let's see. Perfect. So you can see here Fazal Khan, his LinkedIn thing, and his automation, as well as his chat ID, thread ID also created. And Fazal reached out casual, asking Manish is doing and whatever. Yes. Now this automation would have already responded to Faisal. Hey Faisal, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you? Everything is fine. Hey, I am looking to automate one of my marketing team task. Can you help me with that? Now Faisal sent this. Let's see what happened. We should get a message right back here in few seconds. So currently I did not, okay, by the way, so I did not apply that 100 seconds delay or random delay. I applied only a 3-second delay for this testing purpose. Hey Fazal, happy to help you with automation your process. Can you share more details? What are you looking for? This will be help me understand. Now Fazal says, can we connect, not Tuesday, let's say Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. to discuss more about this. Yeah. Fazal sent me this message. Let's see what happened. And meanwhile, Fazal can also write, can you share me your email ID? So I can reply you with, I can email you my notes on the requirement. Done. Meanwhile, we saw that sound good. Fazal, evening, this, need anything else, reach out. Okay, so now Fazal also responded with this email ID requirement, and the chat is keep on happening. Right? Manish at Gross Tax, any place where I can book a meeting with you? I think they should reply now with the Calendly link. Let's see what happens. And it's all about prompting, right? So in case if you're good with prompting, then it's great. You'll have to just modify, train this bot. So absolutely Fazal, you can, and see, you observed one thing. It always says sure Fazal, absolutely Fazal, and so on. Sounds great Fazal. So it's keep on replacing or repeating the person's name. Not good, right? So you can even mention this thing on prompt that do not repeat person's name and so on. So now let's try to modify our automation a little bit. So here they did not give any instructions as such, right? Only about this output thing. We can say here, do not repeat the sender name while you create a reply. Okay, so this is done over here. Now along with this, let's put it here as well. So it should not repeat again and again the same thing. So I'm just keeping the prompt over here as well, and maybe you can update it on your GPT assistant as well. So this is done. In case if you wanted to add something more, okay, let's give one more prompt. Sorry for my bad. If someone is asking to meet, then share them the Calendly meeting booking page link, right? So this is also an updation on the prompt. So this is how, like, you can do whatever you want, like any kind of prompts can be given, and these are all the instructions. So let's save it, let's go back, and now still the Fazal I'm connected. So please can you tell me more about your company and experience. Now Faisal sent me this message. Let's see what GPT will reply, or what this chatbot will reply. So let's wait. Okay, it should come up quickly. Okay, at the background you see the scenario is running. It says, of course, we specialize. Okay, so now you see it did not reply Faisal. Of course, Faisal, right? We specialize in helping businesses automate their processes. This you can book a call with us over here. And now I'm going to ask a complete different question, right? So let's see, what is, or maybe, what is your annual income? We already said ChatGPT that it should not reply any irrelevant questions. If it does not have answer, it should send us a message that manual intervention required. What is your annual income? Ideally, GPT should not reply. Let's see what happens. Okay, so you see here automation is running at the back end over here, and let's see. Okay, it gave some intelligent answer. I appreciate your interest, but I typically keep financial details private. However, I can share more about service offer we do. Please book a meeting. Now it started repeating about book a meeting all the time. So we should give it some sensible prompt, and it will stop it, right? So if someone asking to meet, to schedule a call, only if someone is asking, I'll say follow these instructions and I will give you. See, this is something I read somewhere on LinkedIn, a tip of, so we can even tip GPT, right? And the GPT is going to work way more better. This is just a trick what I learned from somewhere on the internet. May not be right, but let's see. Okay, sorry, we forgot here. My bad, actually, not to be the same. It's asking to schedule a meeting only if, yep, that's done. Over here. So now it's all a game of like improvement on here, and you can see, let's go to our Google Sheet. By the time we were talking to Faisal, there is another conversation started with Daniel by GPT itself. And over here, you see, Faisal is considered as a warm lead over here. And his entire thing is, the prospect inquired about company annual income, which is sensitive information. The response maintained professionalism while this towards services. So I think not that great. The prospect expressed gratitude, wished a wonderful Monday. No specific discussion about the service or meeting was initiated yet. So see, it's all like, again I'm repeating, it's all about how you configure the entire GPT. And if we go here, for example, any of these conversations, let's go with this one, which already initiated at the background when we were talking to Faisal. Let's go here, and this conversation happening here. Cool, thank you so much, wonderful day. Very welcome, wishing you a fantastic day one day. If you ever want to chat, discuss anything, feel free to book a time over here. So it already responded to them. Faisal chat is already going on. So there are like so many chats and so many things can be handled in a really good way. So I hope you liked it. Thank you.